this even like leveled? I don't even know. I think so. Or the light? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So the pool is done. Today was a pool day, and the big change that I've made for this year and that I've continued all the way through January, now that it's currently January 31st, the month is over, is I went from 2 workouts per day last year, and for the majority of my training last year, to 1 training day per workout. To 1 workout per day. And I am hoping, or what I felt like last year was that my recovery wasn't as great, and maybe my body just isn't used to all that volume yet, right? I am fairly new to the sport of endurance. I've never done endurance before getting into triathlon, so I think maybe I just need to get my body a little bit used to the load, but also so I can really hammer the workouts more to their intended intensity, like I talked to before. So, which last year I did 2 workouts per day, but I also kind of did like a shit job twice a day. And I think this year I want to try and do a good job once a day. But what I was thinking today, and it kind of makes sense though, but I wanted to talk about swimming, and I wanted to talk about why I think focusing on swimming really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? If you can swim so that you're safe, you're not going to drown in your triathlon. So looking back at now, having done Oceanside 3 times, having done La Quinta twice, right, over the course of about a year and a half, is that my swim time actually has not improved at all. Like, it's funny, right? Like, I've been swimming 34 minutes in a 70.3 since my first 70.3. So my swim time actually has not improved. I have not gotten any faster in any of the swims. No matter what the conditions almost, my swim time is always the same. And it's 34 minutes. I think I just gotta accept it, right? So I'm swimming twice a week. I swim every Monday. I don't. That was a lie. I swim every Wednesday and I swim every Friday. And today I just realized the swim really doesn't matter, right? If I swim 34 minutes or if I swim 30 minutes in the course of a 70.3 at the level of fitness that I am at, and that most of the age groupers, like the middle pack, is at, the people that do this to challenge themselves, to have fun, to see if they can do something like that, our swim doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you swim 45 minutes. It doesn't matter if you swim 35 minutes, right? I think people get a little bit obsessed, and myself included. That's where the safe reflection came in. But we get obsessed with the swim because I want to improve my swimming, right? I've seen now for a year that I haven't improved it at all, not even by a minute, right? So it's kind of frustrating. But at the end of the day, a 5-minute improvement wouldn't matter, right? So I was thinking, what makes the most sense to improve, right, for this year? What is the biggest portion? The biggest portion is the bike, right, which is the longest. And then the run, which for me is the weakest. And if I can shave off, like I am such a shit runner. I ran a 2.5 hours half marathon in Indian Wells in December, like 2 months ago. 2.5 hours. If I can even just become a mediocre runner and get it to 2 hours at the end of the 70.3, 2 hours, that would save me 30 minutes of my overall time. Where if I bust my butt in the pool to go down to like 30 minutes, I'd save 5? No. But here's what I would say is focus on what really matters, right? Focus on what is the biggest portion where you can get the most improvement out of it. And while I haven't improved my swim, has always stayed the same, I noticed a giant improvement in my transition times. And I think transition times are those silent, like, killers of your time, right? It is very easy to take your time in transition and, get set for the next portion of your race. And I did that at Oceanside. I think my T1 transition from swim to the bike was like 9 minutes or something like that, the very first time. Just by, and I made a video how I improved my transition time, and it'll be, down in the description linked. Just by busting my ass and just running through transition and, you know, moving with urgency, I brought it down to 4 minutes. So I didn't even train anything. I didn't do anything to save these 5 minutes. So I think in transition we can save a lot of time, right? I've never practiced my transition. I think, yeah, practicing your transition is very nice. It's great, but I think for someone who has a job and all these other things going on, that doesn't matter. Don't. Yeah, if you want to lay out your stuff beforehand, I do agree. I do that. That is very helpful. So you know you have everything. But practicing your transition, come on, we don't have time for that. I don't bring my wetsuit to the pool and practice taking off my wetsuit very fast. I don't bring my bike to the pool and practicing a flying mount, right? Focus the little time in the day on the portion of the race that brings you the best improvement, the most improvement. And for me, it's not the swim. So I am now content with swimming twice a week, swimming about 5,000, 6,000 yards a week, not much. And just keeping my swimming the same. I did notice improvements that I'm not as gassed when I come out of the water. I'm fitter coming out of the water. Those things, right? And transition, of course, plays a huge role. But overall, there's no point for me in trying to beat it like a sub 30-minute swim, unless that will be like a dedicated goal one day. Right now, I can save an hour if I get my bike properly, which a 2:45 on the bike for me right now, I'm all right. But if I can shave even a half hour, if I can get a sub 2 hour half marathon, that would save 30 to 45 minutes off my race. And that would put me well under 5.5 hours. Well, almost close to 5 hours in the Ironman. So that is my next goal. So I'm also keeping the bike steady. I'm not trying to push any crazy power besides the fact I don't even have a power meter, so I don't know what power I'm pushing. But I'm trying to what I'm trying to say here is I will focus on my run. And the swim don't matter as long as you're safe in the water. Keep your swim. I would make that the least amount of worry. I would make sure you have a strong bike that you can get efficiently through it. But I think on the run is really where the kicker comes in. So that's really all. I rambled on for far too long now, and I hope you guys have a great day. This was the January wrap up for my thoughts. January's done. It went overall pretty good. I'm really thinking I'm seeing some run progress, so that's great. If you haven't seen it, last video, how I'm trying to run faster, further, better, stronger, greater, like Superman, right? Yeah, that's really it. So I'll see you guys next week.